Okay, now we get to the fun part, setting your baby up for financial success. This is where we plant the seeds that could grow into a forest by the time your little one is ready for college or their first home. And the best part, you don't need to be wealthy to make this work. Let's start with the college savings debate, because this is where I'm going to give you some advice that might surprise you. Everyone talks about 529 plans like they're the holy grail of educational savings. And you know what? They're great, but they might not be the best choice for your family. Here's the thing about 529 plans. They're fantastic if you're absolutely certain your child will go to college, if you're sure you won't need that money for anything else, and if you're confident you can contribute consistently without touching the funds early. But life doesn't always work that way, especially when you're raising kids. Let me tell you why I'm a bigger fan of Roth IRAs for many families, especially when you're just starting out. First, Roth IRAs are way more flexible. You can withdraw your contributions at any time without penalties. That means if your 10-year-old breaks their arm and you need money for medical bills, you can access your Roth IRA contributions without jumping through hoops or paying penalties. Here's the genius part about using Roth IRAs for your kids. The money grows tax-free, just like a 529, but your child can use it for anything. College, trade school, starting a business, buying their first home, or even retiring early. You're not locking them into one specific path. And here's something most people don't know. You can withdraw Roth IRA earnings penalty-free for qualified education expenses, just like a 529. So you get the education benefits plus all the additional flexibility. Let's talk numbers. If you put $50 a month into a Roth IRA starting when your baby is born, assuming a 7% annual return, that account would be worth about $65,000 when they turn 18. Not bad for $300 a year, right? But here's where it gets really fascinating. If your child doesn't touch that money and lets it keep growing until they're 65, that $50 a month turns into over $1 million. That's the power of starting early and compound interest. Now you might be thinking, but what if I can afford to do both a 529 and a Roth IRA? Great problem to have. In that case, I'd still start with the Roth IRA until you're contributing at least $100 a month. Then consider adding a 529 on top of that. Here's a strategy that works well for many families. Start with whatever you can afford, even if it's just $25 a month. Set up automatic transfers so you don't have to think about it. Then, whenever you get windfalls like tax refunds, birthday money for the baby, a random check for switching car insurance, dump those into the account too. And speaking of birthday money, here's a tip that worked great for our family. When relatives ask what to get your baby for their birthdays or holidays, suggest they contribute to their education fund instead of buying another toy that'll be forgotten in a month. Most grandparents love this idea because they know they're giving something meaningful. You'll need your baby's social security number to open any investment accounts, which is why we talked about getting that paperwork done quickly. Most major investment companies make it easy to open custodial accounts online, and many have no minimum balance requirements. Now let's talk about other ways to build your baby's financial foundation. Consider opening a regular savings account for them too. This may seem old-fashioned, but when we're talking about investment accounts, there's something powerful about a child seeing their money grow in a savings account that they can understand. When your child gets older, you can use this account to teach them about money. They can see their allowance going in, watch it grow with small amounts of interest, and learn to save for things they want. The lessons are worth more than any investment return. Here's something I wish more parents knew. You can teach financial literacy from a very young age. Obviously not when they're babies, but by age 3 or 4, kids can start understanding basic money concepts. Having their own savings account, even with just a few dollars in it, makes these lessons real. As your child grows, involve them in the process. Show them their account statements. Explain how compound interest works in simple terms, and let them help make small investment decisions when they're teenagers. This hands-on education is invaluable. Let's talk about family financial goal setting with a child in the picture. Having a baby changes your priorities, and that's okay. You might need to adjust your own retirement savings to accommodate education savings, or you might decide to pay off debt faster to free up money for your child's future. Here's my philosophy. Your own financial security comes first. You can't pour anything from an empty cup. Make sure you're contributing to your own retirement accounts and have an emergency fund before you worry about your baby's college fund. There are loans for education, but there are no loans for retirement. That said, even small amounts matter when you start early. The difference between starting when your baby is born versus waiting until they're 10 is enormous thanks to compound interest. Those early years are when the magic really happens. Here's a goal that works for many families. Try to have 1 year's worth of in-state college tuition saved by the time your child starts kindergarten. Right now, that's about $12,000 in most states. If you save $100 a month from birth, you'll hit that target with room to spare. But don't get overwhelmed by big numbers. Remember, you have 18 years to save and your income will likely increase over time. What matters most is starting with the habit and being consistent. Let's talk about involving extended family in your child's financial future. Grandparents often want to help with education costs, but they might not know the best way to do it. Instead of them opening their own 529 accounts, which can complicate financial aid calculations, suggest they contribute to accounts you control. Here's a strategy for gift-giving relatives. Create a simple system where they can contribute to your child's future. Some families set up online accounts where relatives can contribute directly, others prefer gift cards to investment companies, and some just ask for checks made out to the child that go straight into savings. One more thing about teaching money values. Kids learn more from watching what you do than from what you say. If you want to raise financially responsible children, model good financial behavior yourself. Let them see you saving, making thoughtful spending decisions, and planning for the future. The beautiful thing about starting your baby's financial future early is that it becomes part of your family culture. Your child grows up knowing that education and financial security are priorities, and they learn to value long-term thinking over instant gratification. Remember, you're not just saving money for your child, you're teaching them that their future matters, that planning ahead pays off, and that small, consistent actions lead to big results over time. These lessons will serve them well beyond whatever money you're able to save. Now, in our next module, we're going to talk about navigating that first year after your baby arrives, when all your careful planning meets the beautiful chaos of actual parenthood.